In today's video, I want to show you the fastest way to overcome business hurdles in your music teaching business. Whether you have a small school or whether you have a big school or just a private teaching practice, you're going to face so many hurdles, right? There's going to be hurdles of finances, managing people, hiring people, building curriculum, 1,000 other things, right? Business is literally one hurdle after another, and some people even feel like it's putting out one fire after another too. And so how do you go about trying to figure out the fastest way? Because of course the longest way, right, is to just figure it out yourself and just assume that through trial and error and experience, you'll figure it out, and that will work eventually if you're pretty smart. But it's not the fastest way, and it's not the most humble or smart way either. And so I want to tell you a couple stories and show you how they've led to me using this one strategy to make sure I always solve business problems the fastest. And so let me share the first little story with you. When I was at university, I did a music degree. When I finished, a lot of us in my class wanted to go travel and play on cruise ships. Seemed like a pretty cool thing to do. I decided to start a music school in the end, but a lot of my friends went and did those performances on cruise ships and got to travel and had a great time. Now, the thing that I missed out on was making friends with heaps of cool musicians from all over the world, and that's what they were getting to do, what I was seeing on their social media. So one of the things I decided once I built my school to be quite big was that I wanted to run some sort of international music camps where people who are musicians from all over the world wanted to come to New Zealand, where I live and have my school, and to hang out with me for a few weeks. And so I thought, man, that's what I want to do. I don't know how to do it. How am I going to figure this out? Well, a couple years earlier, I saw a guy called Hamish speaking at a little business event. Now, Hamish had won the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award for our country, New Zealand. And he talked about his first business being with a friend, and they had built these leadership camps for young sort of teenagers from all over America and Canada who would come to New Zealand for a week or so, and they would do leadership training and outdoor education and challenges and all this exciting stuff. And I thought, well, there's a guy that's done it. He knows how to do it. I'll, get in touch with him and figure it out. And so rather than trying to figure it all out myself, I picked up the phone after sort of Googling where Hamish was working, and I got through to his assistant, said, this is who I am, I run the school, I want to create this trip. And because the trip had a sort of double purpose, we weren't just creating this awesome experience for musicians to come to New Zealand, but when they came, half their time was exploring and doing fun stuff in our country, but the other half was actually teaching underprivileged kids in schools that were in pretty, hard up areas. And so he loved that vision, and so he said, yep, I want to help you out for a few hours. And he, didn't charge me a cent, even though he was working at a very, profitable, expensive accounting firm that he had then started. And he laid out for me like, hey, this is how you do the marketing. This is how you make it work. These are the things you're going to have to watch out for. Don't do it this way because then this happens. And oh man, that was such a headache. And he gave me some resources, some amazing tips. He introduced me to a few key people that I needed to get other bits of information from. And it was just incredible. And so I was then able to create our project. And we ran a whole range over years and years, these international music camps. And then I got all these amazing cool friends who are musicians from all over the world. Now that's just one example of how I overcame a business hurdle. And the main principle in that I want you to understand, and this is the thing that I've applied to my business as much as possible, is when you're trying to figure out the how do you do this? How do you overcome this hurdle? How do you run through this brick wall of a problem? It's not just about figuring out the how, it's about finding the who. Who is the person that's been through it? Who is the person that knows how to overcome that hurdle? Who has the resources to help me get through it faster? And that is the secret. Focus on who is the who in order to figure out the how. And I've used that over and over. A couple weeks ago, I flew to Auckland. I'm in Wellington, New Zealand. It's the capital in the middle of New Zealand. I flew, it's about Everything's pretty short here, about an hour's flight. And I stayed in a hotel, paid for flights in order to go hang out with a guy that built this amazing youth development facility across the country. It's kind of like building my music school, but in 5 places in a different industry. So an absolute legend. And I would have paid probably $500-$600 to get the flights and stay in a hotel so I could spend half a day with this person. And what I learnt in that time, because I was so prepared with the questions and everything was ready to go, I knew exactly what I wanted to get out of it and what hurdles I wanted to get over. The value that I got out of that was just absolutely insane. And this has been the pattern I've used as much as possible. If I want to figure out how to do something, who is the person who's been there? Who's the best person I can talk to? And I'll just finish with this. For our members in our Build a Music School community, the BAM squad, it's been really cool seeing that they're obviously using me as the who to solve any of their music teaching business problems. And some of those problems are really simple. For instance, the other day, a guy, Nick, needed a PDF on sort of tutor absences. What happens when a tutor is absent? What's the process they go through? And I said, hey man, we went through all of this. Here's a PDF of what we did, and it's a flow chart. You give it to your tutors. Hey, you slap your own label on it, and you're away. And it walks them through, what they need to do and who they need to contact and what's an acceptable reason for being absent and what's not acceptable. And the cool thing about Nick is he's the most hilarious guy, and so he took this whole template that we just had ready to go, and he took it to a whole new level and put funny stuff in there and redesigned it with his logo, and it's just awesome. So for him, that problem was the how. He's trying to figure out how to solve this problem about tutors being absent and causing drama, and of course the BAM squad was the who that could help him fix that problem. Someone else, Annabelle, she's only joined us in the last month or two, and she's already done an awesome job. She's got a school of like 400 students, and she wanted to start a charitable arm so she can do more charitable work through her school and apply for funding to help the whole thing. And of course, we've already done that. And so for us, we were the who, and we were able to show her how and give her all the resources. Hey, here's everything we've done to build up our charitable side so you can start applying for big funds. Who else? Zach the other day, he's in Canada. We have one area of our music school, we have these music buses. And these music buses go into schools as mobile classrooms, and it's amazing because it gives tutors work during the day and parents don't have to drive kids to lessons, and it's insane. And we make like crazy amounts of money with it. And with the Build a Music School program, I just said, hey, Zach really wanted to do this. And like, here you go, Zach, here's all the resources. Literally, like, we could franchise and sell it to him for 50 grand or something. But it was just like, here you go, Zach, here's everything. And he's now got conversations going with the top sort of school principals in his area and getting these music buses set up for his area in Canada. Super cool. Someone else was all about trying to get concerts. How do you get concerts into schools? Hey, here's all our resources. Here's literally the phone scripts we use. Here are the templates for posters. Here are the flyers we give out. Here's a demonstration of our concert team and how we do the sales pitch at the end. Here's a whole bunch of funny ideas that you can put into your shows and all this sort of stuff. And so the coolest thing with the Build a Music School community really is like it is the who to help with all the hows, all the problems you're trying to break through with your music teaching business. So chances are, if I haven't gone through some of the things you're going through, someone else in the BAM squad has. So if you are looking for a community to help you get through all the hurdles of running a music teaching business, if you feel like you're struggling, you're just not earning enough money, you've got some big ideas, you just don't know how to get there, well, honestly, the Build a Music School community, the BAM squad, the who, and they are going to help you get there. So if you're interested in checking it out, then make sure you head to buildamusicschool.com. So final question, what is the next how that you're trying to fix? What's the next hurdle, the big brick wall that you're up against and you're trying to figure out how to get through it? Comment below and I'll do my best to help you.